What's up, everyone? Justin with Is It Scary Wisconsin, and today I'm back with a quite triggering video aptly titled, I Saved Terror on the Fox, You're Welcome. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are thinking, Justin, Terror on the Fox doesn't need saving. To which, of course, my response is a very simple and yet very honest, oh yes it does. Oh yes it fucking does. Now, Terror on the Fox right now is suffering from something that I would call repeat haunt syndrome. So what that is when you go through the haunt and it is literally the same every year. At least 2, maybe 3 years in a row now, I've noticed so many similarities that it's hard for me to go through it and say, yeah, this was a banger, this was a 9.5, this was almost, this was like Wisconsin's premier Halloween destination. So I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to run my mouth, which is what a lot of people think I'm doing, if I'm going to run my mouth and if I'm going to have these comments and if I'm going to say, I saved Terror on the Fox, you're welcome, if I'm going to say all this stuff, well, then I have to be able to come out here and I have to be able to put my money where my mouth is and say, hey, this is what I would do to make it better. So, having said that, I do have some thoughts on how to make Terror on the Fox significantly better. So this is how I would save Terror on the Fox. And the best part is, the first 3 things, security, bathrooms, and ticket booth, I wouldn't change a thing. Nothing. In fact, I think, of all the haunts I go to, I think they have one of the best starting areas. You come up, they check you over, they basically tell you what the deal is, what the scoop is, they give you the old, don't screw around, don't do stupid shit, they pat you down, I mean, we do need to have some security, and I understand that. I like that they do that, because remember, it's the old adage, more people, more problems. So I like that they're doing that, I like that they're including that, so I think the security is smart, so we're going to go security, bathrooms, and tickets, no change. I think those 3 portions of the haunt are pretty much perfect. I think they're well done. I think the people who manage and run each of those sections do a very good job. And you really don't be like, yeah, I'm going through security pat down, but this doesn't seem like outrageous, right? It doesn't seem like I'm being like accosted, like, oh, take everything, take your shoes off and walk through this machine. No, they're pretty cool about it. They're pretty cool about it. So, pricing. Now, this is for 1 year only. This is to get people back in the, oh, these guys are a top contender again mindset. And what we're going to do is that pricing is going to be $15 for standard and $25 for fast pass. And we're not going to tell corporate that we're doing this. We're just going to do it. And then during the pre-sale times, when they offer tickets for like $13 or $18 or whatever they do, the pre-sale prices are going to be $8 for standard and $16 for fast pass. So, we're going to talk about this train waiting area. On your way to it, we walk through this little wooded area here. And what we want to do, so since that wooded area is kind of like this, you have the road here, you have your road right here, and then you have woods here on your right. Anybody that works at Terror on the Fox knows what I'm talking about. And then this is the ticket booth over here. And then this is security over here. I need to have 2 actors stationed here and here. Train is up here. And now this is important. I need a ghillie suit actor that blends in with the fence, because that fence has all this like foliage on it. So what I need is a ghillie suit actor right here. Perfect. Awesome. So we're going to terrify our guests before they even get in line to go to the actual haunt itself. Because that's one thing I haven't seen for a few years now is actual actors, when I come in anyway, by that ticket booth, security, etc. area. And totally fine, I understand the reasons for that, but I want to start getting some scares before we ever get on the train. That's really, really important. Okay. How I would revamp the train. I'm just going to tell you how I would revamp this train. Because the train in the past has been outstanding. Very good. Probably one of the best parts of the actual haunt. That being said, now it's kind of fallen off. That's not a commentary on the actors, because as I said in my Terror on the Fox review for 2022, for as bad as the haunt was, the actual actors were incredible. And with the actors they have at Terror on the Fox, I know you guys can easily knock this mother out of the park. So, here we go. This is how I would save the train. It starts normal. Everyone gets on the train, whether you're fast pass or whether you're VIP or whether you're standard. Everybody gets on the train, sit down. You know, you got your high schoolers shouting, "Aren't afraid of shit, bro. Look, my mask isn't on." You know, the dumb shit they always shout. You guys, if you work at Terror on the Fox, you've seen it. We recognize it. Some of your customers are absolute imbeciles. That being said, that is your customer base, and you got to work with it. So we get them on this train, and, you know, I think it could work to our advantage that people could be expecting us to have a boring train experience, and that could actually work to our advantage. So the train starts moving, no music, full lights, both carts, you know, so basically what you guys are doing now, other than, you know, music. No music, no lights out, just everything is normal, like a basic train ride is how I want it to start. And then I want it to come to a stop, and I want us to have like the sound of a power surge, the lights to flicker, and everything to go out. Okay? All right. This may require that we cover these windows with like black paper or something, because you want it as dark as possible in that train. Somebody comes on the intercom and says, everybody be seated, stay seated, please. We're experiencing just a few technical difficulties. You know, some standard shit. You guys figure that out. That's not my job. You guys figure that out. And we have two of our best engineers working on it, and I want two actors dressed up as engineers carrying maybe a toolbox or something or whatever, an electrical kit or whatever the hell it would be, to walk up and down the train, whether once or twice, it doesn't matter, and, you know, like they're working on something somewhere on the train. This is really important that they sell this to the customers. And then maybe they even say, guys, we're just trying to get it working again. We'll get you guys going to the haunt as soon as possible. And then, like, it's just going to be like, it's going to, like, flicker back on, and it's going to be like, and when it comes back up, the lights are flickering, like, you know, like you normally do with the strobing light. You have, like, fog floods the car, both cars, not just the VIP car, both cars. You have our strobe lights flickering. We have our metal music playing, and 2 or 3 actors come out of the back sides, the hiding areas of both cars, and we have a kill scene on the engineers, and then they drag the actors off into, like, the rest area of the cars, you know, so they can reset for the next ride. And then the actors come and they terrorize the patrons through the rest of the train ride. I know it's a great idea. I know some of you are listening to this going, holy fuck, this dude knows what he's talking about. Do it. Take it. I don't care. Steal it. It's not even stealing. You use it. You have my permission. I want you to use it. It's a great idea. So through the rest of the train ride, we get terrorized by these awesome actors, by these awesome monsters, not just people with a little blood on their face, but by these actual monsters that have killed these engineers. Yeah, now we're talking. Okay. So, Until the train gets to main grounds, people get off the train and are met with 2 to 4 more actors on the walkway to the mausoleum line. So we need to have some sort of entertainment for the line. I don't know what it's going to be. I know you guys have a big TV out there, and sure, you know, you spent a bunch of money building that last year, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's just a piece of advertisement for 13th Floor. It really does nothing for Terror on the Fox, except for tell me about your icon characters. Which, if I'm coming to Terror on the Fox, I should already know about your relevant icon characters based on your website where I bought my tickets, or maybe based on little character cards up front by your ticket booth. You don't need a giant $80 million fucking, what's that called, giant video screen to show me that stuff. But I understand why they did it, and I understand why it's there. I like the cross-business promotions, even if it only serves for 13th Floor advertising. So, we're in line. We need something for advertisement in the line. I don't care what you do, but you need to do something better than what you're doing right now. I do like the line actors. I do like the Bat Dude. I think he's good. And I do like the Blood Queen. I like all that stuff. I think it's really good the way the actors interact with people in the line. And honestly, if you do just keep that, that's fine too. Graveyard to the Mausoleum. No. It's not the Graveyard to the Mausoleum anymore. You're no longer taking pictures of groups before they go into the mausoleum and into the haunt so they can buy a $5 picture afterwards. You're no longer doing that. Here's what you're doing. Now you're taking pictures of guests before you send them off to their death. And you're telling a story. You want to capture the last pictures of them alive before you send them off. It's very, very important that you theme this properly. Remember, full-bore haunted houses are not for kids. This shouldn't be advertised as for kids. Kids' Day is for kids. Maybe. Depending on how scary it is. Kids' Day is for kids. Not this event. This event should not be advertised as for children. It's no longer the Graveyard to the Mausoleum. Those of you that watch my videos, you know how much I absolutely fucking hate the Mausoleum at Terror on the Fox. One of the most useless things they've ever built. One of the most pointless attractions they've ever had. Well, for those of you watching from Terror on the Fox, whether you're an actor, whether you're management, I'm sure it'll be some of you, because I have friends that are actors, I have friends that are management. I'm sure somebody will share this video with the group. It is no longer the Mausoleum. We're going to do some work to make it look old, beat up, run down, chipped away, crumbling. That's right. We're bringing back Torment. Now, it's no longer called the Mausoleum. It's called the T.A. Spranger's Asylum. 6 cages. That means groups of 6 max. You bring them through the graveyard, do your little jump scares, you chase them through there, however you want to do it. You got to make sure it's good, got to keep that energy up, and you get them up into the front of that mausoleum. We hurry the patrons into their cage. Each patron gets its own cage. The lights go out. Actors, smoke, sirens, flashing lights, big red lights as actors flood the room, grabbing the cages, trying to get to the customers. But they can't because they're locked. The customer is safe. Then the lights go out and the cage doors slowly creep open. Actors stop at the entrance to the cages, laugh and point at the customers, and then disappear into the mist on the trail. That's how we turn a useless, pointless, stupid mausoleum. Some of you are thinking it, you're just too afraid to say it because you don't want to get fired. I don't work there, so I'll say it. It's a waste of time. This is way better than that mausoleum. And if you're going to stick money into anything, stick money into something that'll actually be good. It's no longer called the Haunted Trail or the Haunted Woods. It is now called the Road to Hell. Here we go. This woods, it's a nice opportunity with a lot of structures for scares, right? So here's what I think. Each crypt, each of those like little, you guys know, come on, you guys walk this trail all the time. Each of the little corner brick structures or stone structures is going to either have a scare sound, a flickering light, a burst of fog, or an actor. It's got to have something. I mean, we got the budget to do it. You got the budget to put up a giant fucking TV screen. You got the budget to do that. The first 100 feet of the trail needs to have low to no artificial light. Again, I don't care about city lights. I don't care about moonlight, starlight. I don't care about any of that stuff. But low to no artificial light. And what I mean like by that would be like LEDs, little like stationary lights that push light onto something. Just keep it down, okay? And we have maybe some black blankets on the sides. You guys, because you guys have those things set up to like block the patron's view of like the forest so you can't see where the actors are working. Maybe we have some more of that stuff set up just to kind of pull more of that light away. I want 50 to 100 scarecrows and mannequins, whether they're purchased, borrowed, or homemade, loaded as close as possible throughout that 100 feet. To where you only can go a certain way and you have to like eke your way through them. COVID restrictions are no longer a thing. To act like, well, we can't do that because of COVID, that's bullshit. Nobody cares about it anymore. Nobody is planning their night around Corona anymore. People who are going to haunted houses are already not worried about COVID in 2023. I'm sorry. Like, let's be real about it. So you put those mannequins close and you force one path through those mannequins. People already don't like mannequins. And then, when people have to walk through them, we have multiple, not one, we have multiple actors scaring, stalking, whispering, etc. This is basically an outdoor version of the Hall of Whispers idea. And it's guaranteed to scare, especially when I see what the general customer base at Terror on the Fox is. This would be fantastic. And remember, you're not moving and jumping around before the patrons get to you. You're stationary. That's what you want. That's the kind of stuff you want, and that's really important. Okay? All right. So after the aptly named Fields of Despair, we're going to have some transitional, there'll be a boarded up walking segment. You guys know you have like those little wooden walking areas, right, where you real tight space, and then you go another real tight space, and you know, all that good stuff, right? You guys know it. Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. Don't even act. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We come to a makeshift cabin with black coverings. So as we want to stop as much light as possible. And it zigzags 3, 4, 5 times before the customers stop. You're thinking, fuck, I'm in a dead end. Bright lights come on and you're surrounded by actors on all sides, just out of reach. And they're revving chainsaws and drills against metal plates, getting in your face. Then they scream and shout, "Get out, get out, get out," as an actor pulls a hidden door open for patrons to exit to be chased by one of the chainsaw-wielding monsters. It's a great scare. It's a great moment. You know, it'll work, and it'll be good. And I know Terror on the Fox can execute that well. So one of 3 actors chase and follow the group through the bridge area along the path. The chaser stops and distracts the group, while an additional actor gets one more scare from behind them before the patrons get to the house. Now, you're no longer dancing on the rafters of the house. You're no longer doing these same musical performances that everybody is used to. I know some of you are going to be pissed off about this. I know. Calm down. Calm down. Now you have actors encased in big plexiglass cylinders or chambers or cages even to the music all around the grounds of the house, lit up with like flexing multicolor LEDs or whatever you want to do. This is a chance for patrons to come and take pictures with their favorite actors and their favorite performers, and it brings that house performance right down to the customer. This becomes one of your new attractions. This becomes one of your new, hey, I got to take pictures with a performing actor. That was pretty cool. And the actors don't break to go and do the shit like that. They stay in character. They're dancing, they're singing, they're, I'm gonna kill you. They're doing that the whole time. They're never stopping. Yeah, it brings the show to the customer, and I think that's really important. The house is now called the Murder House on the Fox. First room, it's bloody. Hanging bodies. So, like, you know, you walk in, and it's just like that open foyer area where you, like, walk in, and you walk to your left, and, oh, here's the first room, and this is boring and stupid. It's the same shit I've seen the last 20 fucking years. That's what a lot of you are thinking. None of you want to say it. That's okay. I'll say it, because I don't care if they like me. I'm right. It's the same boring shit you see every year. You walk in, no scare, no scare, no scare, boring, blah, blah, blah. Okay. We got, before you walk in, and it's just covered in blood. Blood everywhere. Blood on the walls, blood on the floor, blood everywhere. Literally fucking everywhere. And we have like a running bone saw making sounds like it, but obviously it's not a real bone saw. You know, you guys, there's ways to do that. And we have a character who plays our butcher. Now, however you want to do your butcher, whether it's a pig mask, a bear mask, whether it's just a big dude coming around with great makeup, it doesn't matter. You guys have the ability and the talent to do this. So I think it's really important that our butcher character comes out, throws a couple body parts around, and offers a bloody limb to one of our customers. Then he'll be pushing this cart full of these limbs and blood, maybe a little thing of like fake entrails or something, however you got to do it, you know? And then an actor leaps out of that cart and screams, help me, help me, help me, before the butcher saws him and stuffs him back into the cart. Shut your ass up! And he goes carting him around the corner. You better get out of here, he says to the customers as they work their way into the house. Awesome. Awesome. Now, I could only come up with 3 rooms for this house, but I still think these 3 rooms would be really important. My first idea for a room is something I've aptly called the clown chest room. So the room is clown themed. 4 large treasure chests on a timer. So I don't know how you do that, but you have to rig it. You have to find a way to rig it. Again, that's not my specialty. It's not something that I do, but I know it's something you can do, as I've seen haunts that do like the pop open doors and all that good stuff. So 4 big treasure chests. Welcome to the Circus of Values. What is this? BioShock? I don't know. But anyway, you come in and they're all excited. We're gonna have a great time today. It's time to pick a treasure chest, and one will pop open and there won't be anything. And then another one will pop open and there won't be anything. And another one will pop open and maybe a clown will jump out. And another thing will pop open and there won't be anything. And then a couple actors flood the patrons in the room, scare the shit out of them, chase them out of the room. It's a great concept, right? Whether they have chainsaws, whether they have leaf blowers, whether they have, you know, it doesn't matter. It's the concept of I'm distracted by these treasure chests popping open and making this noise, and they have my attention. And then all of a sudden, from the darkness in the room, these actors I didn't even know were there converge on us. It's an awesome idea. It's a great concept. I like it a lot. Oh, I like this one. My favorite one, one of my favorite ideas is this concept of a fully padded room, right? Completely soundproof, light-proof room. And everything in this room is covered in like these white sheets. And when you enter, the door closes behind you, and several actors, they begin to whisper at you in your ears, around you, and they're just kind of in your space, but they're not like grabbing you or pushing you, but they're just around you and they're just whispering to you like, welcome to hell, you're never going to leave here. And it's this concept of you're not alone, but you don't know what you're in there with. And I think that is one of the coolest things you can do. Remember, anything that plays on the unknown. See, because darkness, the reason darkness is so scary to some people is because you don't know what it hides. And that's why the dark, that's why the nighttime, that's why a dark bedroom when you wake up can be so scary, because you don't know if there's something sitting next to you, staring at you the whole time you're sleeping. So I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's something that Tara and the Fox could play around with, and maybe they take a couple years to get it right. But I definitely think this would be a great time to quietly inject the fear frequency, 19 hertz, over some speakers throughout the room as well. And then, of course, maybe a light will come on at the back, and you'll find your exit to the room, and you look back, and it's not just actors covered in white sheets. Maybe it's monsters. They don't go, welcome to hell, babe. They don't do anything like that, right? They're just quiet and whispering. And they're just around your area, but you don't know what they are. But when you look back as you're exiting the room, that's when you can get a really good scare out of somebody, when they see what you actually are. Concept is good, but it needs a little work. And if anybody can get it right, I think it's Tara and the Fox. Oh, I love this one. Here we go. This is the Snake and Roach Pit. This was an idea I got off of Haunt Topic Radio, and I definitely think Tara and the Fox already has the start of a really good roach room. So what you're going to do is you're going to have a slow blinking light. You're not going to have a high, flat, fast flickering light where you're just like, we're not going to do that. Bing, 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 bing. That's about the pace you want. And what we want is we want different rubber snakes plastered all over the room, and not cartoony looking snakes, not childish looking snakes. We want like realistic looking rubber snakes all over the room, hanging from the ceiling, coming out of the little holes in the wall and stuff, all that good stuff. Then we have rubber cockroaches all over the walls, on the tables, all that good stuff, right? Okay. And you litter the floor with open pistachio shells and with hole-in-shell peanuts. So when people walk through, they think they're walking on cockroaches. And that's the pop, the snap, the crack that they're hearing. And you have air whips. And you don't put the air whips up here. You don't do that. Okay? Calm down. This isn't what's that haunt called that I didn't like? This isn't Burial Chamber. This is Tara and the Fox. We don't need dumping air. We don't need all that stuff. Just little air whips. Then little vacuum hoses that we have being shaken back and forth. And those things just kind of brush against your legs. Right? Where you can't see them because there's a little layer of fog in the room. So you can't see that you have air whips hitting your legs. You can't see that you have all this other stuff going on. And that is how you create a great snake room without ever putting a real snake in it. And maybe you have a big boa constrictor or a big python head coming out of the wall somewhere. If you really want to do one of those really cool animatronics, or one of those really cool creatures, like that's the way you do that. That's the way you incorporate that. Then you have a little hopper up in the ceiling on a motion trigger. And when you walk under it, it drops maybe like a handful or 2 handfuls of little plastic roaches, or little plastic bugs or spiders or something down from the ceiling onto the customers. And you just load up on those spiders at the start of the year. They have them. They're not that expensive. like I said, they're not that expensive, and it would be a great idea and a great way to incorporate that into your haunt. So that's my 3 ideas for rooms. That's my idea for the trail, for the train, for the starting area. That's my idea for how we can make Terror on the Fox better in 2023 and going forward. I encourage anybody from Terror on the Fox to see this, to reach out in the comments with their ideas for how to make Terror on the Fox better. And hell, you know, if you're afraid of getting in trouble with people that manage the haunt, feel free to comment as, you know, something other than your actual name on here, because I think a lot of times some people are just afraid to comment because of backlash. Again, I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means, but I'm telling you, anything in this is damn sure better than what we saw in 2022. Now, that being said, I'm always optimistic, and I do have very, very high hopes for Terror on the Fox in 2023, and I can't wait to see what they bring us in the future. I'm Justin with This Is Scary Wisconsin. Your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed me kind of breaking down how I would do a haunt, and I'll see you right here next time for more scares.